Land, the 10th of August, 2024. More than 80 martyrs and tens of people injured due to an Israeli airstrike during time of the dawn prayer of At-Tabi'een school. I'm joined with Anas Al-Sharif, who will bring us more details of the event. Anas, hello. You are now present in the same location. More details. Yes, Muhammad. I speak to you now from among the limbs and among the rubble after the Israeli occupation committed this indescribable massive genocide. Very harsh scenes. Muhammad, we are speaking about more than 100 martyrs inside the At-Tabi'een school in the Daraj neighborhood in Gaza city. Tens of injuries, no, hundreds of injuries among the refugees. They targeted a prayer hall inside the school. Parents and refugees were praying the dawn prayer. During this time, Israeli military airstrikes attacked this prayer hall without previously warning the households of the refugees, which led to the death or ascension of more than 100 refugees from inside this school. Muhammad, the limbs are ripped apart and scattered in the roads around the school. It is an undescribable scene. We are speaking about children, women, young people, old people. They are all ripped to pieces. The civilian defense forces and medical units have been trying for hours since the time of the prayer to collect the bodies of martyrs, but they are unable to do that. They are huge in numbers. It cannot be well calculated initially. We are talking about a huge crime and a genocide against the citizens and the refugees inside the At-Tabi'een school. This calculated number of 100 martyrs is a primary calculation, but the number is much greater. There are ripped limbs everywhere and in every corner of this school. And as you know, the schools are housing many refugees and many citizens. So imagine what would happen during the time of prayer, where they are gathered to do the prayer. Airstrikes targeted the prayer hall directly, which led to the martyrdom of more than 100 citizens and refugees and the injury of tens of citizens and refugees. I cannot explain the situation. I'm speaking to you from among the limbs and rubble to report this scene directly. Until now, the defense units and medical units are trying to collect the limbs, not the bodies of the martyrs. The bodies they have placed on the side, but they are collecting the limbs. The number of injuries is too big to count. From the medical sources, this is a final number of casualties of this genocide. Yet, it is an initial calculation of the casualties of refugees and citizens in the At-Tabi'een school. It is chaotic and catastrophic. As you know, Muhammad, the refugees came here to these schools because of the lack of any other shelter. There is no place for them. They have no other shelter. The Israeli airstrikes and the Israeli occupation forces has, for the last 4 days, targeted 6 refugee shelters, housing thousands of refugees, which left behind it a big number of martyrs and injured people. Now, another genocide is being committed during the time of dawn prayer against the citizens and refugees. All of this was done using smart tracking rockets, specialized in this type of airstrike. This indicates that the occupation army was already aware of this school, the number of refugees, and everyone who is present in this school. It also emphasizes that this school was housing refugees and that it had a masjid, prayer hall, and it indicates from between the lines that is covered now with the blood of martyrs in Gaza, that this operation was done despite their full knowledge that there are refugees. But their excuse remains, like every time before, that the leadership of Hamas are taking the schools and especially those which house refugees, and that Hamas leadership violates, according to his statement, the international public law, exploiting civil institutions and shelters, ironically as human shields for terrorist activities. Therefore, the Israeli military spokesperson does not only confess targeting the school and targeting the refugees, but also accuses Hamas and the citizens that they were used as human shields to establish military bases inside these schools. Usually, in this type of genocides, there is no actual quick confession about these strikes, but it looks like some of these scenes which come out of the inside of the school and inside the masjid or prayer hall and in front of the international community. The Israeli army is forced to confess or admit committing this genocide and attempt to place the blame on the victims and on Hamas. This is all committed after less than 2 days from getting to an agreement that negotiations will happen on Thursday to try to stop the war against the unarmed civilians in Gaza. Genocides have not stopped being committed on the Gaza Strip for a single day in the last 10 months. While writing the above, a lot has happened. Genocides. There is too much focus on the word genocide. It is as though the media's whole purpose is to show that what is happening in Gaza is a genocide. Fine, they should know that it is a genocide. But what does bringing this news to the public going to do? People are still sitting home doing nothing. Social media is bad. If all that's happening, all the media outlets transmit is in favor of a specific goal, like showcasing to the whole world the atrocities of a specific government, then it is not as transparent as it should be. Should the crime be committed in favor of showcasing to the world that the government is fighting terrorism? Which is what Israel has been doing since the very beginning of its occupation. Should the media only cover specific events? No frame is used. It is true that they are transparent, showing what is happening through the lens of a news agency, but it is done with no prior intent. They sound unempathetic, however, with the whole situation, and this is what confuses me. Maybe Israel's war is not justified. Is it when people falsely attribute power and authority to a specific body or entity other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? There's a video that Omar Suleiman released saying, "Is Allah with Gaza?" asking whether Allah is on either side of the conflict. But what if he was on both sides? This renders my question pointless. This is also a throwback to the movie The Kingdom. Allah is with the group who are right in His eyes. He supports His people who have the right to live on the land.